Hi everybody, Brody here from Sew Yeah Quilting. Happy Valentine's Day and welcome back to our channel. Today in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make this super easy, low volume heart quilt. But before we jump into how to make the quilt, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your friends. Now, let's jump into the video. As you can see here in front of me, I already have my fabrics laid out and pre-cut. You're going to need a little over 100 5.5 inch white on white squares. So all of these are white on whites. I don't know if you can see them here in the camera, but they're just low volume white on white fabrics. Then this right here will be the top part of our heart. These here are 5.5 inches wide by 15.5 inches long. You're gonna need 2 of those. And then I have 5.5 inch by width of fabric strips that will be the body of the heart. So we're gonna jump right on into how to make this. We're gonna start by making the top of the heart and then we'll go from there. We're gonna start with what will be the top of the heart. As you can see here, I already have it laid out and I've taken 4 of my 5.5 inch squares and just ironed them in half so I can get a line across them, which will sew down this line. So what you're going to do is, I'll show you here on this big quilt first. So these are the 2 strips that I have, and you're basically just gonna sew on like you were doing a half square triangle on the top corners of these strips here. So I'm gonna lay these out, right sides together, just like this. And the same thing right over here. Try to make sure to pay attention that you're not putting it the wrong direction so it doesn't come out looking like a heart. Right. Now that I have these laid out, what I'm gonna do is take these over to the sewing machine and you're gonna sew right down the center of the lines that you've ironed in or marked into these fabrics. So I got the first one done. Gonna lay down the second one. When you're working with white on white fabrics, you gotta be really careful that you are using the right side, because every once in a while you'll get one that looks like it's the same on either side, so be careful of that. So I got my first one sewn. You're just gonna repeat the process for the other side. Now that these are sewn, what I'm going to do is cut off these pieces here. That will be basically the top fold of the heart, and then also these pieces here to make the inside of the heart. So I'm gonna cut those and then I'm gonna iron everything open. So you're just gonna cut these about a 1/4 inch away from the line that you've sewn on here. There goes that one. We'll just switch it around, make it easier on ourselves. Then lay them out, make sure you did it right here. Perfect, just how we want it. Now again on this side, so I'm going to bring this next to it. So we're going to cut this one off and this one off. Okay, now what we're going to do is iron these pieces open so they lay flat like this, and then we'll start sewing the body of the heart together. Okay, so my 2 pieces are ironed open here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay these right sides together and sew this seam together. Just a 1/4 inch seam right down the side here. Okay, so top part of our heart is finished. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this out. Actually, I'm going to iron this little piece first. Just iron it open. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my strips that I've already cut. So these are, again, 5.5 inches wide. And I'm just going to lay these out in whatever order I want to make it look so you can have a color variance between your strips here. So I've got the top of my heart. Gonna, lay my next strip down. Next strip. And one thing you want to make sure when you're doing this part is, as you can see here, so this says love. You want to make sure your letters are up in the right direction and that you're not gonna get done and have everything upside down. So just like this. Now I'm just gonna take these and I'm gonna sew them right sides together, and this will be the body of my heart. Okay, I got my first two strips sewn together. Open these up. Now I'm going to take the next two strips and sew them together. Right sides together. Same thing, just a 1/4 inch seam. Okay, another set of strips down. Open these up. One more time and then we'll sew these strips together. Okay, last set of strips are done. Oops. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 3 sets of strips and sew them together. So right sides together. So I'll sew these together, I'll iron it open, and then I'll sew the next set together. And that will be just about the completion of our heart. One more step. Gonna iron these open. Now I'm gonna have the top of my heart. Lay it down, right sides together. Same thing. Okay, so this is what our heart's looking like so far. Got the top done, got the strips done. Now what we need to do is finish the bottom part of our heart. So, I'm gonna lay this down right here. So what I like to do is lay these down just like this and fold them right in half. So you're gonna fold them in half, and then what you're gonna do is just grab your iron, iron yourself a little line. You could also mark it. Ironing is just a lot faster. So you're going to iron yourself a line that you're then going to be able to use to sew, just like we did with the squares. Now, got my first line here. I'm going to do the second one real fast. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my first square, open it up, right sides together, and you're going to lay it down right in the corner of your, let me see here, right in the corner of the bottom of your heart. What you're going to do is sew straight across the line, and then we'll cut the bottom piece off and open it up. So I'm going to take this just like this, Bring it over to my machine. Give yourself a second just to make sure that you have everything lined up so it doesn't come out floppy or anything. And then sew a 1/4 inch seam. So I got my first square sewed on. It's already opening up. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here on the other side. Right sides together, make sure it's the right direction. So for this second one, what I'm going to do, so I've laid it on top, and since these two pieces overlap here, I'm just going to put some clips on this one just to hold everything steady. Just like this. It's kind of the hardest part of the whole project, which isn't hard, just something you got to be careful of. Okay, now 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to start down here in the corner where these two pieces overlap. Alright, so last thing we need to do for our heart, I'm going to take these wonder clips off, is what we need to do is cut off the extra fabrics right here. So I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to get my long ruler out. I'm going to cut just about a 1/4 inch away down the length here of my heart. Just like that. Same thing on this side. Make sure your pieces aren't folded over on top of each other. Now, this should open right up. And just like that, your heart is done. So now on to the rest of the quilt. What we're going to do is super simple. There's two different ways you can do this. Well, I guess there's a couple different ways you can do it. The way we've done this quilt is we've done 5-inch squares, which I'm going to show you today. If you want to make this just a really, really fast quilt, you can use just a solid piece of fabric, or you can make these into strips. So I like the way the 5-inch squares or the 5.5-inch squares look. So that's what I'm going to start on. I'm going to start sewing rows of 5.5-inch squares, and this quilt will come together. So to make this quilt exactly how you see it behind me, I have 11 5.5-inch squares. I've got them all just stacked up right here. I'm going to take them, put them right sides together. Again, being careful that you don't mix up your white on white. And I'm just going to sew them in a chain. Next one, open it up. Grab my next piece. Put it together just like this, and keep going. Okay, so our first row here is done. Open this up. This is what our first row looks like. I'm going to repeat this process 6 times and then start sewing these rows together. Alright, so I have a few more rows here. What I've done, I just finished ironing this. I've just ironed, you're gonna nest the seams. So you're gonna iron seams one direction on the first row and a different direction on the other row. So when I'm putting together so many squares like this, what I like to do is just set them on top of each other and then just wonder clip it until you have no doubt that your lines are going to match up. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, I've got everything clipped together. gonna start sewing. Alright, so I just finished the first portion of my background. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew together these strips right here. Let's see, right here, which are 4 wide and 6 deep. Okay, so I got my first row down here. I'm going to repeat the process. So I've got my heart here. I'm going to lay it down right side up. And I've got the strips of 4 that I've sewn together, and I iron those open. And I'm going to lay these right next to each other. That's making this portion of the quilt here. I'm going to lay these right sides together. Put them right on top of each other and sew a 1/4 inch seam. Just finished up my rows here. Hold it up so everybody can see. And still got a wonder clip on there. This is what we're looking like so far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add on a side piece here and the bottom of the quilt. So I'm just going to pop those rows on real fast and we'll be right back. Okay, just finished sewing. Bottom portion of our quilt is done. We're going to add the top and we'll be all finished. So I've just finished my last row here. Let me open this up. Just like that, we have our heart quilt. This is a super easy project to make. It literally comes together in a couple of hours. I'm going to take this quilt across the building to our in-house salon and we're going to have it finished. As always, if you'd like to make this quilt, click on the link below. We have our instructions on how to make this. Please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your friends. My name is Brody, teaching you how to sew like a pro. We'll see you next week here at Sew Yeah Quilting.